You to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution as we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be. We share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
You ready?
Come on! It's the Queen of Royal Badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Oh boy, due to the graphic game-orientedness of this program, viewer discretion is advised. I promise you, pimpin'. I mean, there's so many LRPs, long-range pimpin' jumping up on this track, man. You underdig? We spit these LRPs and we do this damn thing real tough, like you underdig. So this so bad.
The homies done made it. I'm so elated. Got over saying.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on that drive home. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day, and it's raining outside, and it's getting cold. I don't like it. I mean, you know, I like the chilly weather, but I don't like the rain. I don't like driving in the rain. But you know what? It is that time of year and the season for it. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I hope you guys are doing well today. Happy birthday to E40. Oh, yeah, E40. One of the Bay Area kings over there. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you today with a wonderful contributor who I will be meeting with and talking to for the very first time, and I'm excited about that. But I'm going to go ahead and start us off with just a couple of updates for you. Again, happy birthday to E40. If you are a fan of that hip-hop, that rap, I know I am. Well, listen, congratulations goes out to Keke Palmer. She was named the host of the 2023 Soul Train Awards. I still love the Soul Train Awards. I still got a lot of love for it. And you know what? That was one of the very first award show carpets that I covered, the Soul Train Music Awards, when it was taking place down in Las Vegas, and I had gone. So it holds a special place in my heart. So definitely shout out to the Soul Train Music Awards and to Keke Palmer. And you know what? I'm not surprised. Keke Palmer right now, her name is ringing bells because she is, it's not funny, but she's definitely in a lot of the limelight. And just today, I heard it's messy. It's a messy situation that she's in with her son's father. Her mother is now involved, and I listened to a nearly 8-minute video of her mother berating her child's father. I don't know if it's deservingly or not. I don't know their business, but it just seems to be this cyclical thing with Keke Palmer and her child's father. I hope that they come to some kind of resolve. But as you all know, we talked about it recently. Keke Palmer has a restraining order against the dad, and she now has sole custody. And so we'll see what happens in the coming weeks with that situation. But right now we know that she is going to be hosting the Soul Train Awards. So shout out to her. T.I. Okay, I mentioned this not long ago, but I'm so excited to announce that T.I. has now opened an affordable housing development that includes 25 units for homeless children. And you know what? This was all on the grounds of where his grandmother used to shop. She used to grocery shop on the same grounds where he has now developed and opened this housing development. T.I. recently mentioned that he is going to be getting out the music game. He said, you know what, I'm going to leave that for the younger guys. There's more to do. And he is making such wise moves. I think that he's still very young, but he's getting over into that entrepreneurial lane. We've seen it time and time again. There's all kind of guys doing it. Big Mike is doing it. We know that there's tons. 2 Chainz is doing it. There's a lot of guys who are Jay-Z. There's a lot of guys who started out as rappers or in the business of entertainment, and now they're trying to step their feet fully over into the entrepreneurial space and business space. So congratulations to T.I. Last thing before we move on with the show. Listen, I have to say, yesterday I told you guys that Jada Pinkett Smith I told you that was something that I did not want you to miss. She was originally scheduled to have an interview right here on KBLA Talk 1580 with Tavis Smiley in the morning. I was actually going to talk about her today on today's show, but for a different reason. I know we're all tired of, sort of beating a dead horse, and talking about, her book and all the things, but that's not necessarily what the angle was going to be. There are new allegations towards Will Smith and a guy who is Will Smith's, one of his really good friends. And Jada is speaking up about that. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I will say she is no longer going to be on Tavis's show tomorrow. And he put out his own statement. So this comes from Tavis. He says that he basically, her handlers, whoever they are, I'm sure management and her team, they have reneged on the terms of their conversation that was scheduled long ago. So they had already had this on the books, and she scheduled, or they reneged on the conversation. I don't know the details of this, but I will say that this is just another example of what I mean by black media. When you've become a big star and still going back to support black-owned media. I want to be clear about that. There are 2 different things we can talk about. There's black media, sure. You have black journalists, you got the bloggers, you have all kinds of platforms and all of those things, but black-owned media means something. And if you are reneging on talking to black-owned media, then there would be a problem with that. Tavis says, he says, we don't black down. We do not black down at KBLA 1580. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there, but I digress on it. I'm not going to talk any further about it or the situation. But I do want to move on and talk about the Raw Report. Andy, let's do it.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, the breakdown is Gary Owen. We're talking about him again today. He is attending his estranged daughter's graduation, and he's admitting he hasn't spoken to her or seen his kids in 3 years. There's a lot to this story. It is heartbreaking on one end, but I have questions about this. I want to dig a little bit more into that and try to figure out, you guys know I'm all about love, I'm all about family, but there are some things that are a little bit touchy in this particular situation, and I want to talk about it. We're also going to talk about Pharrell, music producer extraordinaire, now fashion designer extraordinaire. Pharrell says that we need to get our affairs in order moving into 2024. Now, the man sounds like something that he knows something that we don't know. I don't know. He sounds like he is on to something that we just don't quite know about yet. But we are going to listen to the clip and try to figure out what, in fact, we need to get in order. He has some ideas, and again, we'll break that down for you on the other side. Right now, you are listening to The Raw Report, and we'll get to it all on the other side on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on The Raw Report.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
She's so smooth. So I'm interrupting my own shower to remind you to treat your skin like the queen she is with Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash, packed with Olay's highest level of vitamin B3 complex. It's so moisturizing that it will give you visibly smoother, head-turning skin in just 14 days. People wondering, how'd she get so smooth? Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Also, try Olay Hyaluronic Body Lotion.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, let's jump right into it. We have ourselves a brand new entertainment contributor on the line with us today. She is the weekend editor over at BuzzFeed. Please welcome Chelsea Stewart to the Rob Report. Hello to you, Chelsea. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how it goes over there at BuzzFeed? We all know BuzzFeed, by the way.
Right? Yeah. So as you mentioned, I'm the weekend editor at BuzzFeed, covering entertainment topics, mostly the latest in pop culture. So we cover celebrity news to TV and movies to the latest in fashion and the latest in music, all the things people know us for our fun listicles and quizzes. And yeah, all the things that you've mentioned earlier, things that have been on our radar. It's been a lot, it seems, in the water lately with celebrities. This has been very crazy. So yeah, it's really fun work.
Oh yeah, I hear you. You are right up my alley, and we are definitely we are cut from the same cloth here because it's something that we obviously here at the Rob Report, this is an entertainment-based show, and have to keep our ear to the streets and our eyes open to always find out what's going on in entertainment. But, one of the things that I love to do is just figure out a way, a better way to discuss some of these topics over in entertainment. A lot of it is gossip, a lot of it is salacious, and that's fine. But what can we get out of it from a community standpoint? That's sort of where I find my joy in entertainment reporting. So I'm glad to have you here with me and with us. Yeah. This is going to be great because Chelsea, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I go into all of this. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Gary Owen. Now, I spoke about him, several months ago, because we know that he and his wife, ex-wife rather, Kenya, they had separated, but there were so many issues around their divorce and her trying to serve him and it was just so much drama. But, at the end of the day, their kids were caught in the middle of it. It's been a few years now, though, right? It has been a few years. And Gary Owen he's opening up about the fact that he hasn't seen his kid or his children in 3 years. This is all because of the divorce. And let's hear what he has to say about attending his daughter's graduation, and we'll break it down after this.
As a lot of people know, I haven't seen my kids in almost 3 years, or spoken to them since the divorce, and I understand they're just, I guess, healing in their own time. And I try to reach out and I try to see them, but it just hasn't worked out yet. I'm going to go to my daughter's graduation next month at North Carolina A&T. So I'm just going to go by myself. Not going to try to how can I put it? Not going to try to make it awkward for her, because it is her day. So I'll probably just fall back, and then not gonna. I don't want that to be the time for us to reconcile.
Yeah. Now his ex-wife Kenya is sort of accusing him of eliciting this sympathy from the internet by putting this out there, because she's like, listen, you could have sent this message directly to your kids, you could have reached out, you could have texted, you could have done any of those things, but yet he goes to the internet. And oftentimes he puts a lot of these things in his own stand-up comedy and all that. Give me your take on this, though. Chelsea, the fact that he's saying, I'm going to go to my daughter's graduation, even though I haven't seen her in nearly 3 years and it just hasn't worked out, but I want to make this about her and not necessarily our reconciliation. Give me your thoughts on that, just how you feel about it in general.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, I get it maybe from his perspective as a father, like maybe wanting to at least be there and be in that moment with her. And I like that he said, like, he acknowledged that he didn't want to make it awkward, or maybe like he wasn't going to try to like initiate that serious conversation there. But I think if the kids are hurt, and it seems like, as you mentioned, like it was a very messy divorce. I think there had been like some accusations of like cheating. And I think Kenya mentioned that she had struggled financially after they split too. So it does seem to be some hurt there. I could see if, that, I don't know if that's the reason that they aren't on speaking terms, but I think, if the kids are in that space where they maybe want to have distance, I feel like on one hand I will want to respect that. So it's a touchy thing. It seems though that there's like some real hurt there, and I hope that there can be some healing. That seems so unfortunate and like unfathomable to like not see your children for 3 years, or not just not only not see them, but to not speak to them at all.
Now he did mention the fact that he has tried and it just doesn't work out. We don't know to what extent. This is a really, really sad situation. One of the things that I like to do when I come across things online, I look at what's the climate, what's the temperature, what's everybody else thinking, what is everybody else saying, and I don't let that sway me one way or another. Like, I feel how I feel about it. But a lot of the comments that, for the most part, that I was looking at were people asking the question, or maybe even giving their own opinions, that it was a selfish move. But I'm on the fence with it, though, because are you being selfish by saying, I want to attend my daughter's graduation because, I'm her father, I want to go, I want to be there, I want to attend, regardless of the fact that we have not seen each other or been in each other's lives for nearly 3 years? Or is it more of a selfless act, thinking thinking about your daughter and how she might feel if you weren't there. You know, I mean, it's a tricky situation, but do you have a feeling one way or the other about it?
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Weirdly enough, like I have been in this situation, like in for my high school graduation, like I wasn't on speaking terms with like a family member, and I didn't invite them, and they came anyway. And at the time, I was just like so annoyed and you know, just like, why would this person come? But in hindsight, like I'm so glad that they were there and were able to like, you know, say that they have that experience with me. I think, of course, it's going to be like different for everybody, and it's going to depend on like what your individual circumstances are, what your family circumstances are. But yeah, it's hard. I think I could see how they would think, or some people would think it's selfish. But I think as a father, again, like maybe you do want to be there. Maybe if he can just kind of hang back in the cut and maybe just watch and leave, like that'll work. But yeah, it's tough to say.
You brought up such a great point, and I appreciate the fact that you've put your own experience out there, and just with the fact that you've experienced it. I mean, how many times have we heard adults, when you're an adult and you can see things in hindsight, something that may have bothered you or may not have bothered you when you were younger, you'll have different feelings about it when you're an adult, because you come across different things. We change our ways, we change our viewpoint on a lot of things as we experience things in life. And so for me, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about, people are saying all kinds of like mean things in the comments, and they're like, Gary, basically like, it can't mean that much to him because he talks about all of this stuff with the divorce and all of that in his stand-up comedy. So he'll make jokes about it. But that might be just a way for him to deal with, to kind of cope with not seeing your children. I mean, these are children who he had been in the household with for 20 some odd years with his wife. He was married to his wife for a long time. And now all of a sudden becoming estranged to your children, that's got to hurt. And so I'm sure, or I'm assuming that this is probably just a coping mechanism for him to make jokes of it and laugh about it. So, I'm with you. I think that if he handles it the right way, I don't think there's anything wrong with him sort of going and attending his daughter's graduation, sort of for both of them, to be honest with you. Like for him, it's like I had a part in raising you. We may not have, spoken for a little while, but I did have a part in raising you. So this could probably do his heart well. And then even if she doesn't necessarily want it right now, or if she's got problems with him right now, maybe, she'll think, similar to you, that like when she's older, she'll more so appreciate it.
Yeah.
My thoughts. Sure. Yeah, my thoughts at least. We don't know. I know that his wife, his ex-wife, Kenya, is basically she has a problem with Gary. I mean, they are not at all happy with each other. They still have problems with one another, and they slander sort of each other online. But she wrote her own comments about this. She actually went online and she said, basically, this is on her own Instagram page. She says, all kids want their parents to be happy. When you come to the internet and tell only half the story for sympathy, what did you do? What did y'all get in here? She says, if you wanted healing, you would have reached out to a family therapist, call, text, or sent this video directly to them. She continues, she said, you don't seem to have any empathy for their feelings, which is strong language. That's very strong language, especially considering the fact that she's still with her children. She still is in the lives of her children. She says, you have done some foul things, but I still greet you with a smile. In conversation, I try to keep us focused and on track so you don't resort to blame and finger pointing. But she says, I remind them of your birthday and Father's Day. I encourage them to give you a second chance. I mean, she goes on. This is a lengthy post from Kenya Dukes. But it's hard when you when you're an outsider like us and we're looking at the internet for information, you know what I mean? Do you think there's any, I'm always an optimist, do you think there's any reconciliation or a redemption quality maybe about Gary Owen, that maybe something positive will come from this?
I think so. Maybe. I think they filed for divorce, if I'm not mistaken, in 2021. So, and it did seem like it was a very acrimonious and long battle. And so maybe a lot of that pain and those feelings are still really fresh. I think, ultimately they do have these children who I believe are grown. I think both are over the age of 20, but at that point, I think you are still kind of like a kid in a sense. You're still like figuring things out, oftentimes like dependent, So I think that since they do have those children and they will still share that bond through them, hopefully in time that they can, I think that would, kind of benefit all. It really, I think, sucks, just to see that dynamic be what it is now.
Agreed with you there. Houston, Texas over in our YouTube says, I believe he should go and it's not selfish. I agree he should fall back and heal their relationship privately. I definitely agree with that. One thing that I will end off on in this conversation is the fact that Gary, being the one who is the famous person in this relationship, has an opportunity to use his platform to almost get the public on his side, and that seems to be what the case has been as far as I've seen. There's so many people who go in on Kenya because she doesn't have a voice, and so we're only hearing the side of Gary right now. But like you, I strongly believe in redemption. I strongly believe in love, and especially family. So hopefully they will resolve their issues. If not the two of them, hopefully at least with Gary and his children, because nobody wants to be estranged from their kids. When we come forward, though, we're going to get to this Pharrell conversation because he says we got to get our affairs in order. Something is going on. We don't know. But right now we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, BB, and you're listening to me on The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The mother of a 6-year-old Virginia boy who shot his teacher learned her fate today in federal court. Prosecutors say Deja Taylor's son climbed on a dresser, grabbed a gun from her purse, and took it to Rich Neck Elementary in Newport News the next morning, where he shot Abby Zwerner as she taught class. Taylor, who was black, pleaded guilty to charges related to the shooting over the summer. Now she's been sentenced to 21 months in prison. Taylor has a hearing next month on the charges the state filed against her. Memphis police say new officers are being hired, but they still have a shortage. Black Chief C.J. Davis spoke this week at the Memphis Rotary and said the department is close to 2,000 officers, which is nearing the goal of having 2,500 officers patrolling Memphis. Police data shows more than 21,000 arrests have taken place in the city from the beginning of the year through October. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Drive carefully through Gardena as all lanes are being temporarily stopped as an accident was currently blocking the second lane from the left at the 110 north at El Segundo Boulevard. Right now, stop traffic is coming from the 91 up to 40 minutes. Hollywood Boulevard between Highland and Orange remain closed in both directions due to an earlier structure fire. Also, Highland Avenue at Hollywood Boulevard near the Highway 170 has people in the area doing a live demonstration, so please drive with caution. And over in Santa Ana, expected 40-minute traffic jam on the 55 north between MacArthur Boulevard and the 91 freeway.
Black Friday is Dell's biggest sale of the year. Get limited time deals, free shipping, and huge savings on laptops like the XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. The Lakers tied a team record last night with 22 three-pointers. They beat Memphis by 27 to win their third straight. LeBron recovered from his leg bruise. He had 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in 23 minutes. The Clippers played Denver tough last night before losing by 3. Their losing streak is now at 6, including 0-5 with James Harden. Harden had 21 points but was scoreless in the fourth quarter. Colorado football coach Deion Sanders expressed compassion for the 4 Beaumont High School students facing charges for burglarizing the Colorado locker room at the Rose Bowl on October 28th. Anonymous tips led Pasadena police to the students. 2 of the students are football players who are being recruited by UCLA. Deion wants the students to atone for what they did, but he doesn't want the incident to jeopardize their hopes for college. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Beloved Entertainment presents Sweet Spot Live with me, Angelique Francis, at the beautiful Miracle Theater at 226 South Market Street in Inglewood on Sunday, November 19th at 6 p.m. Join me with KBLA for short stories told live on stage with us, by us. Yes, our own storytellers straight from the neighborhood. Colorful and provocative live storytelling event celebrating our unique culture, our strength, our courage, our faith, and yes, our fire. We invite you to walk with us through the neighborhood, even run with us down our dark alleys if you dare. Just around the corner, there is laughter, unspeakable pain, secrets never told. But don't worry. The door is unlocked and we're going to leave the porch light on. That's Sunday, November 19th at the Miracle Theater, 226 Market Street in Inglewood, 6 p.m. Yes, it is all happening right here in the Sweet Spot. Tickets available, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. We got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, excuse me, take a few minutes to mellow out. Big Daddy Kane is on the mic, and I'ma tell about a minimum length of rhymes with strength and power.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Big Daddy Kane. Lord knows I love me some Big Daddy Kane. One of my very first and favorite artists, rap artists, and he's still going strong. I just saw him perform at the Grammy Salute to 50 Years of Hip Hop. Shout out to Big Daddy Kane. We are on the line with Chelsea Stewart from BuzzFeed. We are discussing this hot topic of Gary Owen. But now I want to move into, actually, I have an update for you guys. So it looks like Draymond Green has been suspended for 5 games after last night's brawl. I don't know if y'all saw, I mean, I'm sure that you had to have seen this, Chelsea Stewart. The fact that he placed Rudy Gobert, thank you. He placed him in a chokehold. That's actually the word that I was looking for. He placed this man in a chokehold, and there have been issues with Draymond Green for quite some time, though. When I say we have recently discussed therapy, especially for Black men, in the Black community, I think it's a must. I think it's something that we should instill in the schools, actually. My goodness, did you see that clip though, Chelsea? Were you able to see the fact that brawl, how it went down?
I didn't see the clip. I heard about it, but I just punched up images when you announced the headline, and it looks wild. I'm just seeing hands and legs kind of everywhere in these photos.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Andy?
He was defending his teammate. That's all it was.
Come on now, Andy.
It's Draymond Green, and he has a reputation that doesn't serve him well, so that's one of the reasons. But if you watch everything in totality, Klay Thompson was wrong.
Okay.
He pushed old boy, and of course, old boy from the Timberwolves is going to defend himself. And then Rudy Gobert, instead of grabbing his teammate, grabs Klay Thompson in somewhat of a chokehold. You can see his arm kind of hit his upper chest area. And, of course, Draymond from a distance, he's like, oh, you over here trying to get at my teammate? I'm going to do the same thing to you, but I'm going to, you know what I'm saying?
So you give him a pass.
I'm giving him a slight pass, but he has to be suspended because the optics weren't the best.
Yeah, optics weren't the best, but true enough, I mean, his reputation is not the greatest, and it still doesn't, it still does not negate the fact that if there's a reputation, it's a reputation for a reason. You know what I mean? And defending your teammate, okay, we could say that, and we could kind of give that little pass, but I don't know. I still think that we should go hard with the Black men in therapy narrative. But I do, I completely agree with that. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Pharrell. Pharrell Williams, for those who don't know, he's another one who went. He became very successful in music and ventured off into business, and he's been doing that actually for quite some time. But he's opening up about what he thinks we need to do going into 2024. Let's take a listen to what he said.
There's a lot that's going to occur, right? We have an election year coming up. Politics always tend to shift things and shift narratives and shift motives and shift company their objectives. And as you said, we had a lot of marketing that was done between 2020 and 2023. What's 2024 looking like for you?
I'm not a politician, but I think we should all be prepared
for
just getting our business in order. I think we should be galvanizing. We should be sharing the codes amongst each other. And we should be supporting each other's businesses.
Yeah.
And that way, it doesn't matter who's in office. We'll have our own buildings.
Expand the ecosystem.
Why not?
Absolutely.
That's what they do.
Yeah. You got a lot of entrepreneurs out there. I want to let you go, and I'll get you out of here on this. Right?
Yes, sir.
Jim Collins, he's always resorting.
Okay. It sounds to me, Chelsea, you give me your thoughts. I'm with Pharrell. I'm no politician either, but clearly we are looking at things regarding politics every single day. Does he make a fair point? And what do you gather by what he means, by what he says in terms of we need to get our affairs in order? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I love that. Just starting off, that he prefaced his statement with "I'm not a politician." I feel like so often celebrities are asked about politics, and they will make a wild statement, and people start to look at them as the spokesperson for all. So I was glad that he kind of led with that. I think that what he said is true. In order to improve our economic status, I think increased support amongst each other and more Black ownership absolutely translates to healthier households and communities. There's more jobs, better school systems, more opportunities. I think we have so much power within ourselves as a community, especially in regards to spending power. I think just a couple years ago, the national spending power of Black people was $1.4 trillion or $1.3 trillion. And so I just think, imagine what the result would be if that circulated within our community. I think it would be extraordinary. I think voting is essential and important. We need it to, create policy to dismantle a lot of these systems and things that are in place. But I think it's equally important, as he said, to support Black businesses and get our affairs in order and kind of look within ourselves to do that and create that.
Chelsea, why do you think we've not been successful in circulating the Black dollar? I mean, we say that a lot, and actually I believe it trends quite often. We trend, it seems like there's a season every year. It seems like, we're on this support Black businesses sort of roller coaster. And I believe that some people, really try to adhere to that. I really do. There are some people that I know, it's rare, but there are some people who really, that is just sort of a pillar of their belief system. They're like, I'm going to support Black, period. Mike, do you remember there was a docu-series that Killer Mike had done? I forgot the name of it, but he actually went around supporting Black-owned businesses and restaurants and things like that. And it was an actual series. And I loved the fact that he showcased that. But you don't have a lot. There aren't too many people. But is it us who don't want to support, or is it the Black businesses who fall short of earning our business?
Yeah, I feel like it's a multitude of factors. I think maybe in some cases it's a lack of access, and maybe there isn't a Black business for something specific. So I wonder then, like, how likely or possible is it that you're able to consistently shop at a Black business or buy everything that you get from a Black business? In some cases, I think maybe you just won't have the funds to do that, or I think especially too if it's a smaller business, maybe sometimes like prices are higher, to of course like keep their business afloat and making money, and so maybe sometimes you just will go with another option and instead of shopping there, or maybe you just prefer to shop at a different store if it's a clothing store or something like that over a local Black shop. So maybe it's a bunch of different reasons, I would think.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. By the way, the name of that series was Trigger Warning with Killer Mike. It was really such a great show. It was just such a great show. I would encourage anybody, if you can still find it. I don't know where it would be. I don't know if it's a Netflix thing. It is on Netflix. Okay. Is it still there, Andy? Oh, we don't know if it's still there or not, but it was on Netflix. It's a really good series. So I would definitely encourage you guys to check it out. But Chelsea, I agree with you. But what's so interesting is we find it hard, and this is a blanket statement here, but we find it hard to shop with people when their prices are too high. But Black people are the same ones who will go to these really high-end stores and buy Gucci, Chanel, Balenciaga, you name it, and pay $500 for a belt or a little mini bag, $1,000 plus for these bags. just to say, or just to sort of put up the facade that you can afford it, right? That's what we have this tendency to do. But if it's a local name or a less known brand, we have a hard time supporting that, and we will blame it on the price or the fact that they can't afford it. But we will find ways. That's one thing about Black people. We will find a way. If we want it, I mean, people will they'll go behind on their bills. You get what I'm saying? And then find a way to buy something. But so I can't necessarily get behind. I agree with you, but I can't get behind that full narrative because we see it so much that quite the opposite. People are putting themselves in debt to try to look cool or try to look like they're rich or whatever. And so when Pharrell says, we need to get our affairs in order and we need to support Black businesses and support each other, I hear that. But Pharrell is also designing for Louis Vuitton and these really high-end, brands and selling things for thousands and thousands of dollars. Definitely the elite. And again, I don't have a problem with it, but he says we need to start galvanizing. I agree with that. I think we need to galvanize surrounding everything, though. Just us. Get it together. He says share. We need to start sharing the codes with one another. Do you agree with that? Because it does seem like there is this sort of this thing that we have where we feel like we can be the only ones. Like, I can't share this because if I share it with you, I'll no longer have access to it, when we know the truth is that there's room for everybody.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think, as you said, there can be this sort of like scarcity mindset where you think like if I share this, I'm losing something, or I'm missing out, or it won't hit the same, or whatever reason you kind of have. But I think when we when we do look at situations where information was shared or a product or something was shared, you look and you see that it had a greater benefit and benefited a wider range of people.
Yeah. Well said. Well, Chelsea Stewart from BuzzFeed, it's been such a pleasure to have you on, and I hope to have more conversations with you in the future. Can you let everybody know where they can find you online?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at CJasmineST, CJasminEST.
Perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thanks so much.
When we come forward, we will have your Who's Got Next and what not to miss on the other side. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on The Raw Report.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. Today I spoke with Tatiana, a community manager for JP Morgan Chase.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Tatiana Roberts. I am a community manager for JP Morgan Chase. I have to honestly say that this has been the most fulfilling position that I've ever had, where I get to give back to the community because I saw my mom's struggles. That's really what fuels what I do to make sure that the community has all the access to the resources that my mother didn't have.
So for the mother who's in business, what are 3 quick tips you can give to ensure that they're on the right path to accessing financial support from a bank like Chase?
Say number 1, just make sure that you're checking your credit on a consistent basis and taking action to either fix your credit, maintain your credit, or rebuild your credit. The second thing would be budget. I know that B word is kind of like ugly right? A lot of people don't like that B word, but it has to be done. We need to tell our money where to go. The last thing is to build a network of supporters that are going to lift you up.
The community building here in Crenshaw is that network. So visit the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon. Meet a banker today. Tell them about your business. I'm Maisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
Beloved Entertainment presents Sweet Spot Live with Angelique Francis, host of KBLA's Living in the Sweet Spot at the beautiful Miracle Theater, 226 South Market Street in Inglewood, Sunday, November 19th at 6 p.m. Join me, Tavis Smiley, and KBLA Talk 1580 for real short stories told live on stage by our own storytellers, straight from the neighborhood, celebrating our unique culture, our strengths, our courage, our faith, and of course, our fire. Come walk with us through the neighborhoods, sit at our kitchen tables, even run with us down our dark alleys if you dare. But just know that in the sweet spot, there is love and laughter, joy and pain, secrets never told. Again, that's Sweet Spot Live with Angelique Francis, Sunday, November 19th at the Miracle Theater, 226 South Market Street in Inglewood at 6 p.m. Tickets available at sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. That's sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. Sweet Spot Live, we've got a lot to talk about.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Before we get to this song, I wanna shout out to Houston, Texas, who says, I believe because we are about to go through a shift in political environment that we are going to begin to feel good about supporting businesses that look like us. I hope that that's the case. We shall see about it. But I definitely think we need to open our eyes. There is a shift happening. Let's go ahead and get to this song right here. Now, this is a different kind of genre. It's a different genre. This is Chris Stone, Kingfish Ingram, and the song is called Thrill Is Gone. Check it out.
Although you done me wrong, so lonely I'll be. Thrill is gone. Thrill is going away for good. Thrill is gone. Thrill is gone away for good. Although I hate to see you leave, I move on just like I should. free from your spell. Said I'm free now. Said I'm free from your spell. After it's all over, baby, all I can do is wish you well.
Yes, that is Kingfish. Thrill is gone. Yeah, absolutely. Blue Singer, thank you so much. Definitely. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. That's my type of like going out. I encourage you, if you don't already, to just try to expand your borders just a little bit. Get outside of your comfort zone just a little bit. You might discover something so beautiful and so new. And, they have all kinds of things, music under the stars and live performances and different kinds of music as well. I definitely encourage that. Forrest Harrison says he listens to Kingfish all the time. He says he is a reincarnation of B.B. King. I love it. And DJ Black 909, I agree with you. We are more than rap and R&B and gospel. We are all of those things. Black people are not a monolith. Okay, well, what I don't want you to miss is Black on the Block. Speaking of supporting Black businesses, this is happening November 19th. The tickets are available right now. This is something that's happening in LA. It seems like it's going to be fire. Just all kinds of Black vendors and businesses and people supporting one another. So you want to check that out. It's called Black on the Block. You can check it out. It's an indoor, outdoor, nighttime shopping event. So that seems cool. Listen, it's been a great show. Thank you so much to Chelsea Stewart for calling in today and joining me on the Rob Report. I appreciate you guys, of course, inside of our YouTube chat, and those of you who are listening everywhere else. You already know who's coming up next, though. It is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and he's going to bring that fire like he always does. I am Robin Ayers, and I truly appreciate you. Remember today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is warning that more steep budget cuts are coming because of the migrant crisis. Adams, who is Black, says he's being forced to enact what he calls extremely painful cuts that will impact all municipal agencies. That's a result of the money the city is shelling out on shelter and services to asylum seekers who